Hello, everyone. Welcome to TaijhTV. Come on in.
Josh
Uh
TV.
huh. Uh, this episode, I have to discuss the Second Amendment being under attack once again. It seems like this is a ongoing story. I'm 33 years old, and for the majority of my life, I know my whole adult life, this has been a topic of discussion. But why are these politicians who swore to take an oath to uphold or took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, why are they so eager in taking our rights away? I say ours as Americans. Now, I do understand that a school shooting happened. What is Uvalde school shooting? And it's a tragedy that those children died. It's a tragedy that those teachers died. But we cannot allow a lunatic, a serial killer, a mass murderer to dictate the future of law abiding citizens. Obviously, the criminal element does not care about law. So if they enact law and punish the law abiding citizen, they would be doing the criminal a favor, in my opinion. But first, on the screen, I thought this was really disturbing. A mother detained by police, charging in the school to try to save her child, while the police stood idly watching the massacre happen. Let's watch it.
Arrest you because you're being very uncooperative. I said, well, you're going to have to arrest me because I'm going in there and I'm telling you right now, I don't see none of y'all in there. Y'all are standing with snipers and y'all are far away. If y'all don't go in there, I'm going in there. He immediately put me in cuffs.
She says after Uvalde police officers told marshals to uncuff Gomez, she ran towards the school.
As soon as they uncuffed me, I jumped that first gate fence. And once I jumped it, I went to my son's class and I knocked on the door. And I remember the teacher saying, I'm like, hey, they're already bolt cutting the fence to get me. She's like, you think we have time to get out? I said, y'all have time. I'm going to run for my other son.
Once she was assured her son was okay, Gomez ran to get her other child, encountering more officers who tried to stop her.
So I start yelling and I'm being a cooperative and I'm like, well, y'all aren't doing what are y'all doing? Y'all ain't doing y'all need to be in here. Give me your vest. Somebody give me a vest, something. I started paying attention to how far the shots were being so that I knew the shooter was all the way still by my first son's class. So when I went to my second son's door, the teacher didn't want to open the door for me. So that's when they started escorting me out. And as I see that they're opening my son's door, I go run for my son and I get him.
With both of her kids out safe, Gomez still can't shake the thought of those who didn't make it.
While you were inside the school, did you see officers
There was not
inside
one
the school?
officer inside the school when I
In
ran
the
to my second
areas-
son's class. There was not one officer.
And you were hearing gunshots, so you knew
You
that
could hear the
it was an
gunshots.
active
It
shooter.
was still active. The gunshots were still active. They were not in there. There was no one in there. If anything, when I pulled up, my car was closer to the school than where the snipers and everybody that was laying on the ground were.
When you heard that it took law enforcement 75 minutes before they went in and stopped the shooter, what was your thinking, having been inside the school yourself?
I don't know. I was just thinking that they could have saved many more lives. They could have gone into that classroom and maybe 2 or 3 would have been gone, but they could have saved the whole class. They could have done something, gone through the window, sniped them through the window. I mean, something, but nothing was being done. If anything, they were being more aggressive on us parents that were willing to go in there. And like I told one of the officers, I don't need you to protect me. Get away from me. I don't need your protection. If anything, I need you to go in there with me to go protect my kids. And if anything, they were being more aggressive on us. They were more pertain on keeping us back than getting into that school.
God bless this woman. This is a prime example why citizens need firearms. You have the law enforcement officers. Either they're trained down there not to risk their lives for children, which I doubt, or they were scared Cowards. They put on that uniform and walk around with their noses in the air, knowing that they're not really protecting and serving. They're cowards. This woman, this mother of two, went in there and saved her children, just like other stories I've heard. Imagine if they had weapons, or these parents allowed weapons to go in. They would have all went in there to take down this shooter. While the law enforcement, who are concealed carry, are standing by idly, twiddling their thumbs, being cowards. Now, I do support law enforcement, but at the end of the fucking day, you got a job to do. And Uvalde PD, you failed at your job. I want to see some of those law enforcement officials that were standing by idly, joking, smiling while children died. I want to see them go to prison. That's what I want to see. But this is just a prime example. Since this new administration has came in, there has been a laxed attitude with law enforcement. Minneapolis, it's taking them 20 minutes to respond. Down there in Texas, it's taking them 70 minutes to respond. In California and San Francisco, citizens say that police are not even around. Ever since this Second Amendment taking tyrannical government has gotten into office, us citizens, our lives have been put in danger. Now, this Second Amendment, Constitution of the United States of America, Amendment number 2, states a well-regulated militia being necessary, key word, necessary, to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. No, there is no gray area. There is no, well, they had muskets. They didn't have AR-15s. No, there is none of that. Because if you take our weapons away and we have to rely on the law enforcement, we just seen what happened down there in Texas. This is where we're at in America. The sad tragedy of a falling empire. And America is falling. But when does the military step in to stop this tyrannical government? Are they in on it? Is this a agenda of the New World Order? Here's a list of countries that already ban the ownership of guns. Cambodia, Fiji, Marshall Islands, North Korea, just to name a few. Third world countries. And here, allegedly in the greatest nation on the planet, they're trying to get us, the citizens, on a third world country level. Now, it's also quoted countries in which guns are severely restricted. Several additional countries stop short of banning firearms entirely, but restrict them very closely. For example, Japan allows gun ownership only for the purpose of hunting and sport shooting, and licenses require significant effort to obtain. China has a similar approach, permitting only sportsmen's clubs and a few ethnic minorities to own firearms. Central African Republic. This is what America wants. This is what the government wants. Central African Republic. Only members of parliament are permitted to own firearms of any kind. Think back in your think tank here when you see these politicians say, take the guns. We need safer environments for the children. Watch those same politicians being paraded around by their armed security. That's not a leader. We are ran, the United States is ran by a tyrannical government who are stepping, spitting, and ripping up the Constitution. President Biden calls for national red flag laws, assault weapons ban, gun storage laws, ability to sue gun makers. This is what this man is calling for. Our president of the United States is calling for the end of the Second Amendment. I'm sorry, everyone, but to me, this is wrong. The Constitution says it shall not be infringed upon. That amendment was necessary. Now, I wonder why they deemed it necessary. I'm willing to bet it was because they knew a tyrannical fucking government would take over the nation and it was up to the people to continue their freedom. Another Democrat, Hillary Clinton. No one actually needs an AR-15, but again, watch the security that walks beside her. AR-15s, shotguns, pistols. Do as I say, not as I do. That's their philosophy. After enjoying years of taxpayer-funded protection from agencies and departments, many of which availed themselves of AR-15 rifles, Hillary Clinton tweeted Friday, "No one actually needs an AR-15." Here's the tweet. Look at him. Look at her. Looks like a fucking AR right there. Looks like an armed person right there. Look at all these armed people. Look at all these armed people around her. Bulletproof cars. If she meant what she said, none of these people would be here. Now, I know you're thinking, well, TaijhTV, people would probably try to kill her. Maybe, maybe not. By her words, she says no one needs an AR-15. So she must believe that America is that safe without weapons, right? Do as I say, not as I do. That's what they're about. This is what really grinds my gears as a black man in America. MSNBC panelists, quote, Second Amendment intended to preserve white supremacy, not individual rights to bear arms. You're wrong. You're extremely wrong. Don't you love how MSNBC does it? They get the Negro who has glasses, who talks intelligent, and he probably is an intelligent man, but he has the biggest afro out there. They get him to persuade the black that you don't need firearms. Do I need to talk about slavery again? Do I need to talk about Jim Crow? Yes, you need a fucking firearm. And who gives a fuck if it's an AR or a shotgun or a pistol? Who gives a fuck? That's your prerogative. That's your American right. Now, I'm not saying take your AR to the nearest whatever and start shooting. No, that's stupid. And if you do that, you deserve to get gunned down. But what I am saying, to protect your family, if you feel the need to buy an AR-15, that's your prerogative. This is what they do. Black people don't fall for this. You got Obama talking about you don't need guns. Do not fall for this, black people. Don't. During slavery, our ancestors fell for something and they hopped on some fucking boats or they got captured or whatever. They fell for a trick somewhere down the line. Don't fall for this trick. They want to disarm you so it's easier to take you over. South African parliament is the only ones that can have fucking firearms in Africa, well, in South Africa. While their people get abused by militias committing crimes. Don't listen to the fucking hype. These people, they're leading you down the wrong path. This is what it's about. This is why these amendments are how they are. Disclose TV, new. Chile's new socialist president, Gabriel Boric, vows, quote, armed violence will not be tolerated. And he calls for a, quote, total ban on gun ownership. This isn't just an American thing. This is a world effort to take away your rights, to leave you vulnerable. You can only ask the military to protect you for so long. If you're not going to protect yourself, don't look for other people to protect you. It's like that in the streets. It's like that everywhere. If you're not going to help yourself, I ain't going to help you. But our president, Joe Biden, when he was in the Senate, he knew better. He actually knew the Constitution. Look at that. The Constitution of the United States of America. That's what's in his hand. That's what he's reading. Oh, he knows better. He's knowingly committing a crime against the people he swore to protect. Joe Biden admitted in 1985, criminals will get firearms with or without gun control. On July 9, 1985, during debate over the Firearm Owners Protection Act, Senate Judiciary Committee member Joe Biden sided with the NRA and argued criminals can get guns with or without gun control. This is where we're at in 2022. This picture says it all. You got a rhino right there, Mitch McConnell, and you got a tyrannical president right there, and Joe Biden. I think that's McConnell's wife, I believe. Biden describes Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell as a rational Republican. Did you guys see that Russia said of what Joe Biden said about they are not going to be sending Ukraine weapons to reach Russia? Did you see what Russia said? Said that's a rational decision. There's a lot of rational people now in politics running America, isn't it? They're rationally getting themselves wealthier while stripping the freedoms from their people that they were voted in by. But don't let all this distract you. No. Don't let this distract you on what's actually happening to this world. Global elites coverage on Washington, D.C. for Bilderberg Group meeting. You guys know who that is. That's Henry Kissinger right there. Global elites representing business, politics, big tech, media, and academia are now in Washington, D.C. for the 68th annual meeting of the Bilderberg Group. Among the 120 invites this year, publicly acknowledged by Bilderberg are Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, Henry Kissinger, former CIA head David Petraeus, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, Senator Kristen Sinema, Democrat out of Arizona, and CIA Director William J. Burns. And it also has a list of other people from the UK and Canada. But the conference initially started by the Dutch royal family in 1954. See, this is a royal meeting. Only royalty is at this meeting. Now, this is when you start thinking about bloodlines and all this other crazy conspiracy jazz. But anyway, the conference, initially started by the Dutch royal family in 1954, is seen as the genesis for ideas ranging from free trade agreements like NAFTA to the creation of the European Union, as Fox Metro reports. Key topics acknowledged for discussion in DC include, and this is just what they told us. This is only what they told us. They include geopolitical realignment, NATO challenges, China, Indo-Pacific realignment, Sino-U.S. tech competition, Russia, continuity of government and the economy, disruption of the global financial system, disinformation, there goes that tricky word again, energy security and sustainability, post-pandemic health, fragmentation of a democratic society, trade and deglobalization, and Ukraine. Look at this. How long have I been warning you guys about this? Disruption of the global financial system. It's happening in front of our eyes. There was just a U.S. senator the other day that tweeted that they're about to bring up a bill this upcoming week to integrate blockchain technology in our financial system. Google it. About 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America. Approximately a quarter are from politics and government, and the rest from the other fields. The group describes itself and its activists thus: the Bilderberg meeting is a forum for informal discussion about major issues. The meetings are held under the Chatham House rules, which states that participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speaker nor any other participant may be revealed. What they're saying is, we're going to talk about shit. Maybe somebody's going to talk about it, but they can't reveal who said it and who was there. Quote, thanks to the private nature of the meeting, the participants take part as individuals rather than any official capacity, and hence are not bound by the conventions of their office or by pre-agreed positions. See, this is how they get away with it. You're not coming represent. If you're a Christian cinema, you're not going to the Bilderberg group representing your state of Arizona or your country of America. You're going as Christian cinema to talk about the future of your state, America, or your state, Arizona, and your country, America. As such, they can take time to listen, reflect, and gather insight. There is no detailed agenda. No resolutions are proposed. No votes are taken, and no policy statements are issued. The Bilderberg Group initially met in 1954 as Europe looked to rebuild from the ruins left by the Second World War. The event, convened under the leadership of Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, was first held in the Bilderberg Hotel of Oosterbeek. The known list of past attendees is vast. A number of them have gone on to lead nations shortly afterwards. Angela Merkel attended in 2005, only months before becoming the German chancellor, while Bill Clinton attended in 1991 when he was still governor of Arkansas. And we all know what happened after that. Became the president of the United States. Look at that. Stop the New World Order. People are protesting out there. Or those were images of 2016's Bilderberg Group meeting. Netherlands Prime Minister Mark Rutte is attending this year. This is where it gets creepy. Anyone hoping for a day-by-day account of events is bound to be disappointed. The group does not release any notes or summaries of discussion held. Journalists are not allowed to report on the event, even though journalists will attend as participants. This year's meeting began on Thursday and will end Sunday. When people openly talk about the Illuminati and all that other crazy jazz, and they're getting oppressed for speaking about shit like this, this is why they're speaking about it. This is what opens up the door about this whole New World Order, the Illuminati, the Great Reset. Secret meetings with influential people, people of power, people who control money, people who control nations. Just know the world's changing. And do not, I repeat, do not allow them to blind you by the distractions of the world. These distractions are going to happen regardless. They're going to happen. Keep your eye towards the money. And that'll be it for today. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being down with me. I was going to do a live show today, but I believe there's a fight. I think Devin Haney is fighting, so I'm going to watch it. But thank you for tuning in to TaijhTV. I hope you have been enlightened and entertained. Leave a comment, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my Facebook channel, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, all TaijhTV. And I will catch you guys Tuesday. Have a good day and good night.